After arriving in Bundaberg from Chesterfield Reef, we make our way south down through Moreton Bay heading towards the Gold Coast. As we entered Moreton Bay, we came across many large white patches in the water. After dropping the asymmetric spinnaker and slowing down, we were able to have a closer look at the large blooms of jellyfish that had formed. After winding our way up the Coomera River Gold Coast, we get hauled out at Boatworks to get a few maintenance items performed. After a new anti-foul on the hulls and prop speed to our propellers and sail drives, we were back in the water.
No, she's almost ready to go back in. All new anti-foul, prop speed, clear on our lights.
Now back in, we started on a few jobs. First up, it was time to fit our Rainman water maker permanently.
Right, where's that tea fitting we bought? So we're fitting our water maker. And we've chosen the hottest day on earth. Fantastic, no airflow. And Joanne thinks we can wait.
We found it fitted perfectly inside our port engine room. I made a simple manifold from 3 valves to allow me to switch between the salt water when making water, fresh water for flushing, or a preserving solution when storing it away.
Okay, can you lift that up at all? Yep. I reckon I'll do this. Okay, now it is in.
Next job was to reinstall the air conditioner.
Oh, can you get the screw in there? Can you go to the top one? Don't drop the screw. Did you find the screw? Can you screw it in? Just push it into the wall and start it. Let's go on there.
Anywhere? Top one?
Top one, bottom one, whatever one you can get. All I'm hearing is ka-chink.
Wait, stay on.
Chink. I'm coming down. It's killing me.
I don't know where it went. It would be behind this now.
It had been fitted poorly by aftermarket Australian trades, with the drain pipe sticking through the bridge deck, which also allowed salt water up the drain when waves slapped the underside of the hull. By rotating the air conditioning unit 90 degrees and onto the new fiberglass rail I installed,
I'm just going to get video.
and I directed the condensate drain, we gained half of this cupboard space back and solved several installation problems.
The new fiberglass block that we've fiberglassed in. Also fiberglassing over the old drain hole that went through the bridge deck, which was bad design. And yes, we've gained our locker back, which is very pleasing. We can store stuff in there again that we'd lost.
We retrim our saloon in a soft leather look vinyl by Queensland Canvas and Marine.
No, this is proof. I can say I told you so if you fall in. I wanted to go to the marina to get it, and he said, nah, why spend $100 on a marina berth? So this is evidence. If it falls in, I can say I told you so.
You realise you two have to do most of the unloading?
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
You missed that
Other
one.
than that, if you want to just...
Oh, you know.
Stephen's workmanship was excellent and his service was second to none. Over Christmas and New Year's, with no regrets safely moored in the marina, we had a 2-week break on land. With Emma's interest in flying, Robert and Emma have a go at iFly, indoor skydiving. With a couple of weeks left before Emma starts at university, we head south to Yamba and the Clarence River.
Seems to be every anchorage in the Gold Coast. They pull up some weird wacky stuff. Today, electrical cable and conduit. It has to be off someone's solar panels, otherwise, I don't know, it must be a boat load. We've just crossed the Seaway Tower at Southport and we're heading off. And there's a few waves out here that are at Emma's last passage before university. What have you got to say? Nothing really. You're good for the camera. A few sleepy heads, God knows why. There was only one person that did the all-nighter.
After sailing all night arriving at Iluka, we catch up on a few hours sleep before heading up the Clarence River towards the town of Grafton, about 32 nautical miles or 60 kilometres by river.
There's a very, very strong current flowing out the river and we're supposed to be at low tide, but obviously there's overrun with the tide, but to get some idea, you can see that buoy over there. And this is less. We're just motoring up the Clarence River after coming into Iluka last night, or the night before. Just had to sit for many hours waiting for the tide to stop flowing because even when it was almost out, with an hour to go, it was still doing 3 knots. So we weren't going to push into that. So the tide's almost stopped now and it's still an hour and a half past low tide and it's still got 1 knot in current against it. So it flows very fast.
kilometres heading to dry land. Shall I point it this way? Heading to dry land and an accommodation that stays still and clean. No dirty father making a mess of things. Am I right? Okay.
I'm going to post it with you not speaking.
We've got we've got the new bridge that we can go under, but we have to request permission to get the old bridge lifted at some stage. Trying to find a spot to anchor until we get approval.
Right there.
Things you got to miss. Crab pot.
That was a wake up with 15 minutes to move. We made it in 5.
The alarm didn't go off this morning, or we don't know what happened. But we had to get here before the time for the bridge to be opened. So the first one's the new bridge, which is tall enough for us to go under. The second one is the old bridge that has opening times. They're all in this one section.
So this is the Buff Point ferry. You just need to wait for them to enter to the sides. I'll give my radio a call in a second also to confirm our intent to pass, and wait for them to make sure their cables have dropped below in the water so we don't catch anything. Pretty cool.
For a land boat.
What we're going to do?
If there's ever going to be a cyclone, this is where we're running. 50 k's inland, I think we're fairly safe. We're not going to get smashed.
We're just coming up to Grafton, and we know there's power lines up ahead. However, we've just noticed a sign buried in here in the scrub, and that's our warning for 17 metre clearance. Not very clear. It is up this way. You can see them in the distance there.
What do you reckon?
I reckon it's 17 metres low and about another 5 to 10 over there. And we got a clearance of 19, so it's close, but we're also near high tide, so it's the highest and the closest it's going to get.
Where are you going to anchor?
I reckon just up here.
Yeah, so we do have a second warning sign, so clearly no excuse to hit the power lines. It was very hot, around 40 degrees, so after a quick look around Grafton, we decided to head back towards the coast where it would be cooler, stopping over at the township of Maclean.
Trying to show that you Gumbies are in the same shorts.
We pull up at Maclean to the free public pontoon. We walk up to the Pinnacle Lookout to take in the view of the town and the surrounds. Neat little mosaic showing the town and the river. The carrying of the Olympic torch for the 2002 Sydney Olympics went through Maclean. In preparation for this event, the Maclean Scottish Town Association, with resident artist Linda Elmere, painted the power poles from the Harwood Bridge into Maclean. Proving popular, family tartans were then painted throughout the town.
Made it back in time for the rain. Poor guy's making a run for it. Yeah, it would have been a bit wet walking up. And that is the hill up there where we walked to.
After passing back under the Harwood Bridge, we pull into Yamba. Off to my favourite living hill, Lamar.
Thanks very much. All recyclable. Bamboo fork,
Close.
bamboo fork, paper, no plastic.
Right, come on.
We had been told that we had to stop at the best pub in Australia, the Yamba Shores Tavern, as we could pull up and park practically at the bar to get a meal and drink. This is what you call a front row park, to a perfect spot. Alright, you try not to look. There's our boat, that's through there. This large school of bream hang under the deck next to the pontoon walkway, waiting to be fed the leftover chips.